we can make about 100 pairs of boots, and then we're dead in the dirt on Moc Toe.
We have been working on the Moc Toe for 7 to 8 months. This is a new construction that we had never made before. So
the only thing that's the same with this boot is the leather. New heel counter, new toe counter, eyelets, new speed hooks, new soles, laces.
We had to acquire some machine like the Moc Toe stitching machine, and we had to wait for about 4 months to receive the machine.
Rubber midsole, adhesive, primer, getting new machines built up, testing and error, and scrapping a lot of boots, making a lot of tuition payments, getting power to the building, teaching a whole entire stitching line how to sew this boot, buying a Moc Toe machine, working with our last, reorganizing the whole entire plant just to make this boot, to now figuring out, are we gonna have to turn this boot off?
We were supposed to get rubber midsoles, and the day they were supposed to arrive, they never showed up.
This little piece of rubber right here that runs in between the welt and the sole, that we adhere the sole to, is the part that we need.
So I reached out, not thinking anything serious was going on. I'm just like, hey, it seems like you guys are a little bit behind on this shipment. Can you just give me some sort of update on when we might receive it? And then that's when I got the news, our machinery's down, we have no timeable fix, and we're backed up on orders.
As it stands right now, we can make about 100 pairs of boots, and then we're dead in the dirt on Moc Toe. On top of all this going on, our cutter outside broke. We need that machine for Moc Toe. We use that machine for our liners, so that machine's down.
The other day, one of the main drive belts broke on us, split right in half on us. So the whole head got cockeyed because it's got 2 of them, so everything moves in unison. And only the one was moving, so we got all snagged up and the pieces weren't cutting right. And we dove into it and found out that the belt was all blown.
Oh, if we don't get the midsoles, we cannot make Moc Toe boots.
One of the most critical things we found is stressing with the vendor how urgently we need this. Because in a lot of times, if a delivery is late, it's okay. We have our own safety stock on hand, and we'll be able to survive for a little while until they can actually provide the replacement. In this case though, they were about to shut us down essentially immediately. So the key thing is always letting them know, hey, this is a critical thing, we really need this. When you tend to cry wolf all the time and everything is always an urgent issue, they're less likely to work with you. In this case, we haven't asked too much extra out of them recently, and so that helps build that relationship so that they know, hey, this is a big deal. We're gonna use some of our resources on this to work through the problem. So with this shipment not arriving, this would have straight up shut down production of the Moc Toe, essentially right after we launched the product, which is not a good look.
There's no other US supplier that makes these rubber midsoles, and then anything we source from outside the country has so much filler and different stuff inside of it, it won't create a good bond when you attach the sole with the adhesive, and the soles will just fall right off.
So there's 3 solutions right now we have in mind. One is literally getting a hold of our supplier and having them send us bulk material unfinished. So it basically be a huge chunk of rubber coming to us, and we will actually split it to the size we need so we can make our midsoles out of. Second option is in looking for vendors within the United States who can make the same product. Third, we have to go over.
This metal part right here is the part that broke. So we have the rubber drive belt, and then that metal just kind of rides on it. That completely snapped and got all coiled up and wound up inside there and stuff. The people we get the parts from, this broken last week, and they were out until this Monday, so I couldn't even get a quote, know what the availability on this part was, get the procedure for, how to zero it all back in. Wow. 4 days of we don't even know what's going on, and we can't make boots.
Well, the biggest challenge with US sourcing is there's pretty much, for a lot of the materials, there's one supplier in the US that's doing it. So if they get backed up or they have any issues, that means we have issues and now we're backed up. We have a little bit of rubber midsole material left, but they were able to get us a few blockers to get us by but it's only going to buy us a couple of weeks.
So the temporary holdover right now is they were able to get us a few hundred pair of the blockers to be able to keep production going. It hasn't resolved their issue. Their machine's still not working. We don't have it all figured out long term, but at least this buys us time for other solutions or for them to be able to fill the product.
So we had to overnight parts from Canada, and those came in. We're installing it now. And then once we do that, we got to go through some minor calibrations and stuff, throw all the paneling back on, oil it up, and we'll be good to go.
This is just what we do. Like, this is a big deal. It's a huge pain in the ass, but this happens at least once a year. You know, we figure it out.
Everyone said it couldn't be done, and they were wrong. But they might be right for a few weeks, you know. But we're gonna figure it out.
If it was easy, everybody would do it.